Hello, welcome back to our series of episodes on the 2024 Kindle Scribe. You can see it here with the prompt to put in my passcode. So I will just do that so we can get the discussion going. So I'll cover it up so you can't see it and put it in. Okay, so let me go back to home for a moment. So let me quickly review what we did last time. Okay, and also in case you missed last time, you should be able to pick up most of it from what I'm going to say now as a summary. You recall that last time we covered how to set up your Kindle Scribe and gave a brief tour of the device. Let me quickly review. Make sure your Kindle Scribe is well charged. Then connect it to your Wi-Fi network and enter your Wi-Fi password. You also need to connect it to your Amazon account if you didn't do so when you checked out the Scribe out on Amazon. If you check the box at checkout labeled link to my Amazon account, it should already be linked. Otherwise, it will walk you through the steps to complete that. If you don't have an Amazon.com account, you need one to access the Kindle ecosystem. While you're at it, upgrade to Amazon Prime. I've made the case for that upgrade in a number of my videos on this playlist. Another thing we discussed was the option to set a passcode, and I chose one because I want my notebooks to be private. So I've covered the Kindle Scribe and entered my passcode to access what's there. So that's just the step that we did. We saw last time that the first thing you see is an array of Kindle books and documents. There are also documents because I've made notebooks since I acquired the Scribe. The books are in all kinds of categories, including all the Kindle books you own and recommendations based on your past reading. To know where you are, look across the bottom and find the word that is underlined. So home is underlined, and it's divided into these rows of suggestions mainly as to what you could read. So we're in home, and then if we go over to library, as we saw last time, you get the Kindle books that you actually own. So that's your personal library. Then if you go over once more to the right, you get notebooks. You'll see that I already have some notebooks here. The furthest one over, if you're working along the bottom still, is more. Now you remember that I told you not to throw out the booklets and instructions that came with the Kindle Scribe, including its cover. In particular, the little booklet for the Kindle Scribe tells you where to find the most convenient place to get detailed information on your device. So for that, you go to Settings, if you recall from last time, and in the More section, and then you'll see a number of things, including Help. And if you press Help, it brings up options. The second option is the Kindle User Guide. It's loading at the moment, and you have an incredible amount of information about the device. It's kind of your go-to place if you're stuck. Now, what I want to do today is to work with notebooks. So let's go back to notebooks. That's going to be our main discussion today. When I acquired this Kindle Scribe, I looked for a book written by someone who really knows the device and knows social media. And so I first looked for that. What do I want from such a book? What's most important to me is that when I look at the book and I leaf through it, I see that the author of the book has similar goals to mine. And then I read the entire book. And this is what I will do when I get my Kindle Scribe Colorsoft. I have a book picked out, and there'll be, I won't do a report on the Colorsoft until I work with it a little bit and I've read the book. But that's in the future. Still waiting on delivery, by the way. Of course, I can play around with the device at the same time, but I give myself the assignment to read the entire book because I find that way you get the knowledge of someone who's been in the trenches and is thinking about the device in the same way that you are. So the book I'm using for that at the moment is by Ian Allen. I will include my Amazon affiliate link to the book in the episode description. As an Amazon associate, I earn from qualifying purchases. It's a kind of buy me a cup of coffee type deal. As soon as you receive your Kindle, make sure the personal archiving settings are correct. So we didn't cover this last time. So to do that, you need to go online. Okay. And I chose to go online using my mini iPad. Okay, which I've just put the pin in. Okay, and you want to navigate yourself to manage your content and devices, content, devices, preferences. So preferences is what you're looking for in the possible tabs. Now, if you press on preferences, which I have done, it's asking me to refresh the screen. You'll find a tremendous number of things, okay? But what I'm interested in talking about is if you scroll right to the bottom, you get to personal document settings, and you can see that every Kindle that you own has its own email. I'm fine with that. And then underneath that, you have personal document archiving. It may be a little bit small because the camera is a little bit high. But it's called personal document archiving. And when this option is enabled, personal documents sent to Kindle email address will also be added to your Kindle library. And you should press to enable archiving. So here archiving is enabled. So it just means that, you're going to have a copy of whatever you do on one Kindle device will be available on any Kindle device that you own. But it's important to make sure that it's set up properly. So that's why I had the competition here, the iPad. So there are various ways to send a document to your Kindle Scribe. The easiest is to go to Amazon.com, send to Kindle. So maybe I will get out the iPad and the web browser and go Amazon.com / send to Kindle. Looks okay. Okay, so this is what I want to show you. You can send documents to your Kindle Scribe via the internet using your favorite device. Here I'm using a mini iPad, and you'll see a square here, and you can just drop the file, as long as it's supported file type, into this big square, and it will appear on your Kindle Scribe. Now, the first time I did this, I had to re-log in to my Amazon account, so that may happen. But this is by far the best way to send files to the Kindle Scribe, and also it means your email doesn't get cluttered up with the email option for sending files. Okay, so I wanted to show you that also on the iPad. Okay, so I'm putting the iPad away, and I want to go back. Okay, so let me cover the pen. Okay, I want to go back to the notebook section. So notebook is underlined down the bottom here. Actually, I increased the size of the font so it just says Note Boo, but that is the notebook section. And you're there. And as I said last time, if you want to start a new document, you go up the top and you click on the plus button. Now, you can either decide to create a notebook or create a folder. Okay, so I just want to create one page for the moment, and I'll just take medium ruled, even though there are 18 choices as I described last time. Okay, so what I really want to focus on today is the toolbar. Okay, but first I want to show you that myself writing on the Kindle Scribe. So yesterday, upon the stair, I met a man who wasn't there. So even though my writing is not particularly neat, the Kindle does a very good job of converting it to text. Okay. And then he wasn't there again today. But my writing is not less neat because I'm writing on the Kindle. The writing is a little scrappy because that's just the way I write. So the last one is, how I wish he wasn't there. Now many of you have seen this little stanza from the overall poem, which is Antigonish. By humans. And he wrote it in 1899. Apparently, there were reports of ghosts in Nova Scotia, and so he decided to make a joke of it and write this little poem, of which this is part. Okay. Now, what you see on the left here are all the things that the premium pen can do. So there are different settings for the premium pen, and it makes the whole situation incredibly versatile. Now, I'll just mention right down the bottom here, the 3 dots, and it says move to right side. Okay? And that is probably good for people who are left-handed. But as I'm not left-handed, I'm immediately going to put it back. Okay? So that's the very bottom thing. Now, the very top thing, this inverted V, collapses the toolbar so you just have the setting that you're working with. And that gives you a little bit more space on the page, and maybe is less distracting. Okay? But in order to talk about the toolbar, I have to open it, of course. Now, the next thing that you see, if you look closely, the thing that is blacked over there, it looks like the nib of a fountain pen. So this icon is very important and controls your pen settings. So if you want to access those settings, you need to press them again. So there we go. What are your choices? So in other words, if you want to work with the pen as a pen, you press it again, okay, to get the settings. So you have the choice between pen, fountain pen, marker, and pencil, okay? And then what you have along the bottom here are the thicknesses. So they go from skinny to fat. So this setting imitates the thickness of the pen that you're working with. So I've chosen the fountain pen because I like fountain pens. I worked for a while with the thinnest squiggle here on the far left and wasn't entirely comfortable with it. So I've gone up a thickness, and that was much better for me. So you see the second squiggle from the left is highlighted, and that's because that's the setting I'm working with. Okay, so if you're happy with all that, you can press the pen icon again and work with that pen, and it will look like this, what I've already written. So one thing that's very important, if you want to write with the pen, it has to know it's a pen. And all these settings underneath, it's not acting as a pen, it's acting as something else through the pen. So if you want to write, you have to be up the top, and you have had to make your choice of what type of pen you want to use. So the next thing down is, let me press it with the pen. It's a highlighter. And it gives you options for thickness. Now, I should say that the Kindle Scribe is incredibly intuitive and very informative. It constantly reminds you what you're doing. So the second from the top is number 3, because the first from the top is the minimize toolbar. This is the highlighter icon. It lets you see the premium pen to highlight text while still being able to read the text beneath. You cannot use it to write and expect the writing to convert to text when you send the document out. It will stay a highlighter. Okay, so it's on thin, let's do that. Keep it there, so we boop again, and let's highlight. Antigonish. Okay. So the next thing down here is a highlighter. Sorry, is a rubber. Okay. And so it's similar to the highlighter in some ways, in that it has 5 choices of thickness. Or you can erase selection, which is what I've got chosen. Erase selection. Whoops. So I didn't mean to erase my entire poem, but it looks like I have done that. So let me go like that. So down here is the undo button. Okay, so if you made a mistake, then it undoes what the mistake that you did. So you're back to where you were. Okay, so this little icon here is an eraser. Now the premium pen has an eraser at the tip, so you can use that to erase, as I'm doing here. And then if you didn't like that, I use the rewind to get my there back. But it has a very nice thing, erase selection or erase page. And so that can be very easy to implement. So rather than rubbing out each individual word, let me just take the 2 sentences up the top and it's erased them. If I want them back, I press rewind and they're back. So now I'm at the lasso and I'm going to go down to the lasso. Now you can delete, cut or copy with the lasso by the way you use it when the pen is in eraser mode to delete a section of text. So there's a clipboard, you can copy to the clipboard, you can also move the selection with the pen. You can move text with what's inside the lasso. You can resize the selection by pulling on the squares in one of the corners of what you lasso. Okay, so let me lasso all of this. Okay, so here are my choices. I can put it in the garbage. I can cut it, or I can put it on the clipboard. Okay, so that's what that little square is the clipboard. I can move the text around. You won't see the lasso, but you see I'm able to move it. And I can resize it. Okay, so that's, I can resize it. Whoops. Okay. So I can resize it. I'm sorry it's taken so long for me to do that. But it's not something I do very often, okay? So you can resize it. Okay. So it's a selection tool, and you can copy, you can paste, you can delete, you can move, you could even change the size of the text. So down below is the redo and then undoing the redo, okay? And this little sign here is the clipboard, okay? So let's So I'll put this, what I selected on the clipboard, and it says copy to clipboard, tap on the page to paste. So I've been able to paste it in another place, and that's what that little clipboard there was telling me. Now, that is the toolbar. Now, at the top, okay, sorry. So at the top is another little toolbar. Okay, so what you're seeing here, I've called this notebook 1, and you're certainly not going to organize your notebooks like that. So this enables you to edit the name of the notebook with the on-screen keyboard, and say I want to call it poem. Small o. Okay, and update. Okay, and then the notebook will have a name. So there's one here with we're up the top now. I hope you can still see it in the camera. The 3 dots, you can do settings, go to page, or delete current page. Okay. So next to it is a square with an arrow through the right top corner. This is what we're going to discuss next time, not this time. Okay, so you touch it and you can share current page or share entire notebook, and it will enable you to send to an email address that you've approved in text and in PDF. Okay, but that's too brief. We're going to have to come back to it next time. So this thing with the that's like a star is the artificial intelligence as it is now, and this is going to be updated this year, but it has 2 things: summarize and refine writing. So summarize, so it's summarizing. And I'm not doing anything here. I'm just waiting for it to. And it's got a summary of what happens. Okay? Okay, so don't cancel. Actually, oh, okay, I see. Add to notebook. I'm going to add to notebook. Add as last page, okay. And then another thing that it does is, so that's summarize, is refine writing. And that is really good because it means that if you refine the writing, then it's going to, when it's converting it to text, it's going to give you a much better result. Okay? So, very primitive for the moment. So I've cancelled, yeah. Very primitive for the moment, but it's going to be much more of a big deal once they do these upgrades. Well, when you export a document, we'll go through this next time, you export to PDF or to text. So another nice thing the Kindle has is it does take screenshots. So to take a screenshot, you press, say, the upper left and the lower right. so that it's got to be on the diagonal. So I'm not going to do it because I don't want another screenshot in my lineup. Now that screenshot, of course, you can export, but it's more complicated than exporting other screenshots or other types of documents, I mean, because the Kindle Scribe won't store a photo. So to get at the screenshot, what you do is connect your laptop or whatever using the USB charger that's included with the Scribe. Then when you have to download the Send to Kindle app, which is available for your Mac or whatever device you use. Install that, and then it will guide you on how to carry over the screenshot. Okay, so you have the Send to Kindle app and you have the Send to Kindle website. Okay, both of which have their uses. So next time we'll focus on receiving, exporting, and marking up documents, and I may even take 2 episodes on that. So I'm just going to end with a little informal discussion, which is I am delighted to have bought the Kindle Scribe bundle. So don't let anything I say take away from that. That's because, let me put the Kindle Scribe in its bundle. It is the ideal thing for when you're using your Kindle Scribe about the house. So the Kindle cover is now on. It's just that it's folded back, so you can't see it. So I am an author and fiction writer. I was for many years a research mathematician with the real name Paula Tretkoff, but then I chose a pen name, Diana Dirkby, when I switched to writing fiction novels. 3 of my novels are being made into screenplays. I'm sending things back and forth with the Kindle Scribe to the screenwriter. That gave me the opportunity to use this import-export of documents and get familiar with it. As I say, we'll discuss it next time because otherwise the podcast episode will be too long. But I just want to mention something about the cover. The book I'm using to help me understand the Kindle Scribe is by Ian Allen, and I'll give the exact reference in the episode description, and I will include an affiliate link beside it that takes you directly to the book on Amazon. Now, this is a good time to remind you that if there are affiliate links in my episode description, they are attached to me, and I am an Amazon associate who earns from qualifying purchases. It's like buy me a cup of coffee to support me in a small way as I write my books. Now, Ian Allen discussed the cover. His concern is one that I have. The premium pen is magnetically well attached to the Kindle Scribe, but it's not protected. And I've found that even though it's so strong, it does fall off sometimes when I'm getting excited writing, and then I don't know where I put it. Maybe I put it up here and so on. So there is at the base of the cover a little loop where you're meant to put your pen when you're not using it, or when you don't want to use the magnetic side. Okay? So his concern is one that I have. Just putting things to one side, the premium pen is magnetically well attached to the Kindle Scribe, but it is not protected, and I've found that it often falls off. So what Ian Allen did was cover the pen with something and put in the loop at the bottom of the cover, and when he wasn't satisfied with that, so he still found it too loose. So one of my affiliate links is to another cover called the All New cover. It has a stand and 2 grips to help you hold it. the Kindle Scribe fits in, and the pen goes with a smaller loop than the one on the Kindle Scribe. Because he preferred that loop, he chose this cover, which is a very good cover, but he noted that it was a little bit flimsy. Now, for all my devices, I have a case, and I often have a different case for when I'm traveling, especially when my device is usually in with my big MacBook. So the laptop stays put when I travel, and I do most of what I want to do digitally with my iPhone. Okay, so if I want to watch a movie or whatever, I'll use the iPhone usually. So Alan was still not entirely happy with the Kindle Scribe cover, the one new one, which is still a good cover. So I found another type of cover specifically for travel from Kobak, Cobak. Now I will give the affiliate link to that in the episode description. It's PU leather, and the one that I bought with the bundle is perfect for when I'm leaving my Kindle on my desk, and I always put the pen back against the Kindle Scribe so it doesn't roll off the table and get hurt. So this Kobak cover is much more hefty, and so again, I've used it now on several long voyages, and I'm very happy that my pen is protected by a sturdy case. It has the 4 magnets, just like the Kindle cover, and the 4 little indentations where the magnetic feet of the Kindle Scribe will go. What is very nice about it is that there is a slot there for your Kindle pen. It will touch the Kindle Scribe and it will be already attached magnetically because this is free here. Okay, so I don't know how much you can see, but this is, so what's on the left-hand side is for carrying junk, okay? So where you put the pen is here, and the nice feature is when you close it, you cover the pen, and it's perfectly protected. And so that is what I use for when I travel. And I'll give the affiliate link for that too. Well, I think that's enough for today. I am a little bit irregular in my episodes. I try to make it once a week, but I don't always get there just because, I'm writing a novel and all sorts of other things may be going on. So the best way to know when I'll be talking about these things again is to subscribe to my channel. Okay? And please like my videos. It gives me a lot of encouragement. And you're free to comment whether it's, there's a place on YouTube to comment, so you're free to comment. Even if it's a negative comment, that can be helpful too. So goodbye for now, and I'm really looking forward to the next episodes because one of the great things about the Kindle Scribe is its annotation of reflowable text. So we'll talk about all that, and now I'm going to say goodbye. Have a great day.